Hey guys, Kyle here, the Pentographer, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you about the Asvine J16. Now, this one is a very interesting pen. It's a little different than other Asvine's other offerings. It's still a little pricier than some of them that I've been getting. The V2, it's up there with the V200, I would say, but this one is a completely brushed aluminum body. It's got silver details to it, and that are not brushed. And it's got a Yovo nib in it. So that is it's a higher end nib than Asvine's typical nibs. Asvine's typical nibs they're not bad, but they're not anything special either. But a Yovo nib, that is a different ball game. That's a well-established brand. Yovo is a well-established like nib maker. Like, they make nibs for pens. That's kind of what they do. And sometimes pens pick Yovo nibs because it's like that. They're just like, yeah, we'll just go with Yovo. Spelled Jowo. So they're a nice nib. It's an excellent writer. I have two of them, and I have one in is it a broad or a medium, and I have one in a fine broad. I think I have a broad, and they are both fantastic writers. They both write very nicely, very differently, but very nicely. And the Yovo nib on it is very simple. There's not a lot of decorative, like some nibs you get are really decorative and have like lots of twirly little lines on them and stuff, twirly engravings. These ones are not that way. They're very simple, very straightforward. I imagine that's probably makes them a little cheaper, that they're not putting all this decorative stuff on them. They do have a little bit on them, but not much. But they're nice. Like, it fits with this pen. They're very heavy. That's the other thing, though, is that they're quite heavy. The twist cap is pretty heavy. They do post pretty well, but it's a weighty pen. It's not light at all because the whole body's aluminum. It's a piston filler. So what that means is essentially it's like a cartridge converter. A converter is basically a little piston, right? You twist the knob one way, and it pulls it pushes the piston down, and then you twist it again when you dip it in the ink, and it pulls the piston back up, and the suction fills the pen with ink. A piston filler is that same mechanism, just built into the back of the pen. So it's all one unit. The only thing that comes off is the cap, but it's a really hefty pen. It's weighty, and it's a piston filler. So it's you don't have to mess around with converters. You don't have to none of that stuff. It just fills, which I really like. It's nice to have a few of those kicking around. So it's a fantastic pen. It writes absolutely beautifully. I'd put it right up there with the Twisbees that I have. I'd put it right up there with them. It's pretty close. Just a really nice pen. The Yovo nibs are fantastic. I love them. I actually can't wait to get more of them. Not this pen in particular necessarily, because I've already got two and I don't really feel like I need more of that same pen. But I can't wait to get another pen that has a Yovo nib in it, because they're nice pen. They're nice nibs. Yeah, it's a fantastic pen. Really, really slick. It makes a good everyday carry. I would put it in the same categories I would put Lamy Ion in that regard. Like, it's a bit more expensive. It's closing in on $100, even for an Asvine, which is surprising, sort of. But both the V200 and now the J16 are quite pricey, but they're very good pens considering they're Asvine, and that's a Chinese brand. They're really good. Like, they've done a really good job. I cannot recommend this pen enough. Very highly recommend if you want a good solid writer. I guess the downside is the brushed aluminum does scratch easily. That's kind of the one major downside I see to it. My first one, I was just trying to take pieces off to see what came off of it, and I ended up scratching around where the clip is. The clip twisted and ended up scratching. Now, that's entirely my fault, because I shouldn't have been trying to take the damn pen apart, but I was just curious. but I ended up scratching it, so I was really disappointed in that. So I would definitely not recommend taking it apart. That's not really worth it. You don't gain much, if anything, by doing that. But you'll wreck the finish on it, and it does scratch easily. So I'm a little disappointed in that. But if you don't mind it getting scratched up or scuffed up a bit, like that adds kind of a bit of a character to it, right? Like it adds a bit of a patina almost to it. So it's kind of okay that it does. And for the quality of the materials overall, definitely still worth buying. I would throw it in maybe a leather pen slip just to try and keep it nice, but it's a good pen, and I would highly recommend it. If you don't like heavy pens, I wouldn't get it because it is quite heavy. So if you're a woman and you don't want to write with a big heavy pen, then I wouldn't get it. Or if you're just fussy and you don't like heavy pens, then I wouldn't recommend it. But I don't have a problem with that, especially for like shorter writing sessions. It's totally fine. And it's big enough too that it doesn't feel uncomfortable in the hand or anything. So it's definitely serviceable for that. Admittedly, I have not written for extended periods with it. So there is that. But it does seal quite well. So you can leave it for a fair amount of time inked up and still be able to unscrew the cap and write right away. It does seal quite well. The cap seems to be quite well designed. It's not clear, obviously. It's all brushed aluminum, so you can't really see inside. But they're actually, on that note though, on the section there is an ink window in it. So there's a little round section of just like clear, that probably clear acrylic of some kind. And yeah, it's like you can see into it, and it's an ink window. So it does have that. It does have an ink window. So that's kind of nice. Not all of them have that. So it's yeah, I would say like upper mid range. You know, not starter pen. It's definitely like I'm expanding my collection, and I'm still trying to explore some of the sort of cheaper end brands options, because like, again, Asvine's supposed to be a cheaper brand, but they keep doing some unique stuff that's really solid. It's really hot. Like the V200 is one of them. Like this is a good pen, man. You know, I'm really pleased with it. So I would put the J16 in the same category as this one. Not a vac filler like this, but definitely worth looking into because it's solid. So I would highly recommend it to anyone who wants to expand their collection. If you like the brushed aluminum look, it's really nice. I know there is a non-brushed version, so there's like basically a shiny aluminum one. I just can't stand that. I just think that's too much shiny all at once. If you really like that, then maybe go for it. Maybe that's the pen that you get instead. But I find the brushed aluminum with the non-brushed accents and the nib, which is also a very shiny metal, it's got good accents. It's a nice the shiny metal as the accent color, or the accent to the rest of the pen, to the brushed aluminum, works really well. It looks great. So that would be what I would say, is that go with the brushed one, but that's personal preference. So yeah, I think that's more or less it. That's about my thoughts on that one. I just wanted to cover that one today. So yeah, like, share, and subscribe, and post in the comments what you think about the what do you think about the J16. Do you have one? Like, if you have one, tell me what you think. Tell me your thoughts, because I do want to know what other people think of these pens. It's something I got to get better at, is like asking about that stuff, because I want the community engagement. I want people to tell me what they've got and share their pens and their favorites and that sort of thing too. I want this to be somewhat of a discussion. I'm kind of trying to fill a void here. There's a void that Drew from Goulet Pens left when he left Goulet Pens. He had a big impact on that company, and ever since he left, it feels like Goulet Pens kind of lost their shine. So I'm kind of trying to fill that void. I'm not doing a very good job right now, but I think eventually I'll be able to. So at any rate, I will talk to you guys in the next video. As I said, like, share, and subscribe. And as I always say, may your pen always be inked.